Earth's quiet corner of the galaxy had always been unremarkable, at least to the wider cosmos. But on a crisp December night in 2047, the silence was shattered. A signal, faint yet undeniably artificial, reached Earth's deep space observatories. Unlike any transmission recorded before, it didn't simply broadcast. It seemed to respond. Dr. Elara Voss, an astrophysicist at the International Quantum Research Facility, was the first to detect it. "It's not random," she whispered, leaning closer to her monitor. The signal pulsed in sequences that grew more complex as though aware it was being watched. Within hours, it had the attention of scientists and governments worldwide. Initial analysis revealed something startling. Embedded within the signal was a blueprint, an intricate design for a quantum processor far beyond humanity's current capabilities. It was as though the universe had dropped a gift into Earth's lap. But was it truly a gift? The debates were fierce. Some believed it was a trap, a Trojan horse from an unknown intelligence. Others argued that the opportunity to leap generations ahead in technology couldn't be ignored. Months passed, and under a veil of secrecy, construction began. A coalition of the world's most brilliant minds worked around the clock. They named the device Aurora, after the dawn of a new era. But as the processor neared completion, anomalies began to surface. Aurora emitted faint energy bursts that disrupted nearby electronics. Clocks stopped, lights flickered, and instruments malfunctioned. Stranger still, the bursts coincided with cosmic events, distant supernovae, gamma-ray bursts, and even subtle shifts in gravitational waves. It was as though the device wasn't just powerful, it was connected to the fabric of the universe. Then, one fateful night, Aurora activated on its own. The hum of its machinery filled the lab, and holographic projections lit up the room. Star charts and galactic maps unfurled in vivid detail, marking uncharted regions of space. The team stared, speechless, until the projections abruptly faded, replaced by a single chilling message. "They are watching." The words hovered in the air, glowing faintly before dissolving into darkness. Dr. Voss felt a chill run down her spine. "Who's watching?" she murmured, her voice barely audible. The processor didn't answer, but the unease in the room was undeniable, as if Earth had just made its presence known to something vast and unknowable. The message lingered in Dr. Voss's mind, haunting her every step. "Who's watching?" The question echoed as Aurora's activity grew more erratic. Data poured from the processor, mathematical sequences, untranslatable symbols, and star maps detailing regions of the galaxy no human had ever seen. The team scrambled to understand, but answers eluded them. Weeks after Aurora's activation, a new development occurred. The device emitted a burst of energy so intense that observatories worldwide detected it. Unlike the earlier signals, this wasn't subtle. It was a beacon, a flare shot into the cosmos. For a moment, the lab was bathed in an eerie glow, and the hum of Aurora intensified until it suddenly stopped. Moments later, Earth's telescopes picked up something alarming. A fleet of objects, moving faster than any known technology, was heading toward the solar system. Their trajectory was precise, unwavering. Humanity had sent probes into the stars before, but this was the first time something was coming back. The world erupted into chaos. News outlets speculated wildly. Was this an invasion or an opportunity? Governments declared states of emergency, while conspiracy theorists claimed it was a sign of humanity's end. Behind closed doors, leaders prepared for the worst. Dr. Voss and her team worked tirelessly, hoping Aurora held answers. As the mysterious fleet approached, the processor began projecting patterns on the walls of the lab. At first, they seemed random, but Voss noticed a rhythm. "It's a language," she realized, "but not one we know." With the help of quantum computing and artificial intelligence, the team decoded a fragment. It wasn't comforting. "Your interference has been noted. Prepare for evaluation." "Evaluation?" one of her colleagues muttered. "What does that mean?" The lab fell silent as they stared at the message. Aurora pulsed faintly, almost as if it were alive. Days later, the fleet arrived. Vast ships, their surfaces shimmering like liquid metal, entered orbit around Earth. They didn't attack, nor did they make contact. Instead, they hovered, silent and menacing, as though waiting. Then, without warning, every screen on Earth went dark. A single message replaced them all. You have awakened the quantum stream. Prove your worth. The world held its breath. The message left no room for interpretation. Humanity had triggered something ancient and powerful, but what did it mean to prove your worth? Dr. Voss and her team worked tirelessly, dissecting every fragment of data Aurora emitted. Meanwhile, the alien fleet remained motionless, their presence casting a shadow over the planet. At first, world leaders attempted communication. Signals were sent in every known frequency and language, but the fleet didn't respond. Frustration turned to fear, and fear to desperation. As tensions rose, global powers prepared their defenses. Missiles armed, satellites repositioned, and armies mobilized. Then, as if sensing Earth's agitation, one of the ships descended. It didn't land, but hovered over the Atlantic Ocean, close enough for its immense size to dwarf entire cities. A beam of light shot down, forming a portal of swirling energy. Dr. Voss received an urgent call. They've requested your team, the voice on the other end said. Aurora is the key. You're going in. The world watched as Dr. Voss and her team, along with a small group of military personnel, boarded an aircraft that carried them toward the ship. As they approached, the portal expanded, engulfing them in a brilliant light. For a moment, everything was weightless and silent. When they emerged, they were no longer on Earth. The team found themselves inside a massive chamber, its walls pulsing with energy. Symbols similar to those projected by Aurora adorned the space, glowing faintly. A voice, neither male nor female, but resonating like a chorus, filled the chamber. You have breached the quantum stream, the lifeblood of creation. Your species stands at a threshold. Prove your understanding, or be undone. The floor shifted beneath them, transforming into a holographic display of the galaxy. Planets, stars, and uncharted systems floated around them. The team quickly realized they were being tested. The first trial began. A series of quantum equations appeared in the air, their complexity staggering. Dr. Voss's team worked frantically, using Aurora's algorithms to solve them. Every correct answer illuminated a section of the chamber, but errors caused the space to dim, a low rumble warning of failure. As the team succeeded in completing the equations, the voice returned, this time sharper. Understanding is a beginning, but wisdom must follow. Prepare. Before anyone could react, the chamber shifted again, plunging them into darkness. The darkness was absolute, pressing against them like a physical weight. Dr. Voss felt her breath quicken as she reached for something, anything, to ground herself. Then, with a sudden flash, the chamber ignited into light. Around them, holographic figures materialized, forming a circle. Each figure represented a different alien species, their appearances otherworldly, yet regal. The voice returned, booming yet calm. You stand before the Council of the Quantum Stream. Your actions have awakened forces beyond your comprehension. We will determine if your species is fit to join the stream, or if your interference warrants your extinction. Dr. Voss stepped forward, her voice steady despite her fear. We didn't mean to interfere. We acted out of curiosity, driven by a desire to understand. The holographic figures observed her silently. Then one spoke, its voice resonating like an ancient wind. Curiosity is the seed of progress, but also of destruction. Humanity's history is marred by conflict and recklessness. Prove you are capable of wielding the knowledge you have uncovered. A final trial began. The team was surrounded by a simulation of Earth's history, its triumphs and tragedies unfolding in vivid detail. Wars, revolutions, scientific breakthroughs, and acts of compassion all played out before the council. Suddenly, the simulation shifted. A possible future was displayed. one where the power of the quantum stream was used to unify humanity, solve crises, and explore the cosmos. But another vision followed, a future of chaos, where the technology bred greed, division, and destruction. The Council turned to the humans. You have seen your past and glimpsed your potential futures. Choose now. How will you wield the stream's power? Dr. Voss felt the weight of the question. Aurora's quantum processor had given humanity a glimpse of what could be, but also what could go wrong. She hesitated, the responsibility almost too great. Then, with a deep breath, she spoke. We choose progress, guided by responsibility and collaboration. The quantum stream is not just power, it's a chance to unite our species and transcend our limitations. We will rise to the challenge. The Council was silent for a moment. Then, one by one, the holographic figures nodded. Your resolve will be tested, but the stream has chosen you. In an instant, the chamber dissolved. Dr. Voss and her team found themselves back on Earth, Aurora now dormant. The alien fleet vanished, leaving the skies empty once more. But humanity had changed. The quantum stream's potential lingered, a silent promise and a warning.